I've hit another milestone here on Icon of the Seas. I've now been on board over 100 days. If I've done my counting right, I'm making this video on day 105. Never in a million years did I think I'd be on board a ship for over 100 days, but here I am, and we're still a week or so away from the halfway point of the contract. It's taken this long, but I think I can finally say I'm now used to life on board the ship. It's all pretty consistent from week to week, and even the unpredictable things happen pretty consistently. The best news to share is that this week we finally have a full company again. I mentioned in previous videos that two of our cast members were sent home for very different reasons, but we now have their replacements on board and fully installed into the company. It now makes it so much easier to deal with the understudy situations when we have to put an understudy in, and I have to say it's also nice to have a little bit of some new blood running through the company. I thought I'd finish the video by answering some frequently asked questions, so I've chosen to answer, is there a lot of movement on the ship and do you get seasick? Well, we are a ship in the ocean, so there is movement. But we sail in the Caribbean, which is not really rough water, and we're also a very big ship with a stabilization system which mitigates most of the movement. That said, it is hurricane season, so the waters are rougher now than they were a couple of weeks ago when we first boarded. And there is one stretch of water in our western itinerary en route to Roatan that is consistently rough. Now, it's not like the Drake Passage or anything, but it is consistently rougher water than anywhere else we sail. As a crew member spending most of my time at the front of the ship, which is where you feel most of the motion anyway, I probably experience more motion on the ship than guests who have a cabin mid-ship and spend all their time on the promenade or the pool decks. My cabin is at the front of the ship, the theater's at the front of the ship, and most all of our common crew areas are all at the front of the ship. So yes, we probably experience a little bit more motion than most of the guests do. While I am prone to motion sickness, I have not gotten seasick, knock wood, but I've taken the precautions. I take my motion sickness medication every day. Dramamine is my poison of choice. I take one tablet every day. I started taking it about 3 days before we boarded. I take one every morning with my vitamins, and I've not had any issue with seasickness or motion sickness. I've gotten to the point where I'm used to it enough I could probably stop taking it, but I have a job to do, I know myself, and I'm not going to risk it. So that's about all I have to share this week. If you want to continue following my journey playing the Wizard in the Wizard of Oz on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, please follow Broadway Barfly across all social media platforms. I post these weekly video updates on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and I make daily photo posts on Facebook and Instagram as well. So follow along, and I'll see you next week.